Okay, so you have in your listening guide a front page which has two examples. One with just regular long division of polynomials, and I'm hoping that there's enough steps in there where you can sort of follow that. Your second example, if there's a term missing. So here we have 3, 2, 1 exponents. They're in order. Here in your second example, we have x cubed, and then we jump to x to the first power. So we've skipped x squared. So your second example in your listening guide shows what we do with those missing terms. So we'll do that when we get to this example. So let's work these two together. First of all, we're going to write them as a standard division problem. 6m cubed plus 7m squared minus 4m plus 2. So I've checked, and like we said just a second ago, there's no missing exponents. So we start by using the first term in our divisor. 3m, and I'll write the steps here, 3m into 6m cubed. So 6m cubed divided by 3m. That's an easier way to see it for some people. It's more visual. 3 into 6 is 2. And subtract your exponents when you're dividing, and you have m squared. So I put mine above my m squared term. Then we multiply, just like in standard division. So 2m squared times my whole divisor, and I'll just distribute. 2m squared times 3m is 6m cubed. And 2m squared times 2 is 4m squared. Now, we are subtracting the entire polynomial, right? Or binomial. But in order to do that, we have to distribute right here. So essentially, you're adding opposites or changing this positive to a minus and changing this positive to a minus. So you're just changing your signs essentially of both terms. The first term zeroes out, yay. And then 7 minus 4 leaves us with 3m squared, and we bring down negative 4m. So our third step, we change our signs. Fourth step, bring down. And start over. Do it all over again. 3m into 3m squared would leave us with m, right? Just a positive m. Distribute m times 3m and m times 2. Change signs. Negative 4 and negative 2 would be negative 6m. Bring down our 2. And then start over. 3m into negative 6m. Just negative 2. Negative 2 times 3m. Negative 2 times positive 2 would be a negative 4. Change signs. And your remainder is 6. And you're done. There's nothing else left to bring down. And since we lined up our common terms, you're at the end of the answer. You're done. Nothing else to go into. So your quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, is 2m squared plus m minus 2. You have a remainder of 6. So plus 6 over your divisor every time because it's a portion. It's not a complete whole. It's what was left over. In your second example, we've already talked about having a missing term, our squared term. So as we write this, 3x cubed, let's add a placeholder for our x squared term. And as we line up our terms, we'll need that placeholder. And it's divided by x minus 3. X divided into our first term. So 3x cubed divided by x would leave us with 3. Subtract our exponents, so we end up with 3x squared. Okay, you've just seen why we need a placeholder in this particular problem. So if you always put a placeholder, then you always have one whether you need it or not. Multiplication step, 3x squared times x and 3x squared times negative 3. We need that placeholder again, right? Change your signs. That's the same as distributing a negative 1 through the whole thing. Bring down and start over. X into 9x squared would be a positive 9x. You can always check yourself when you multiply. 9x times x is 9x squared. You should always get the same number that you divided into. And 9x times negative 3 is a negative 27x. Change signs. And you end up with 25x and bringing down your last term. One more rotation and that'll be it because there's nothing else to bring down. X into 25x would be 25. It's a constant. We place that over our constant. 25 times x, 25 times negative 3. Change our signs, and we end up with a remainder of 80. And we're done. Our solution, or quotient, 3x squared plus 9x plus 25. And then we have a positive 80 over x minus 3. So the answer we get when we divide is our quotient. All right, so if you will, please finish this video, cut it off, copy these problems again, try to do them yourself. Rewind the video, use it to your advantage, and then there'll be a quiz attached to it.